Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Biz-M-Power webinar series on agriculture and food products. Today, thank you so much for joining me in your lunch hour. I just wanted to welcome our panelists. I'll share a little bit about myself in a moment. My name is Theresa Ng. I'm the Community Project Manager here at Mass Grow Capital Corporation. I lead the Biz-M-Power Matching Grant Program that aims to promote economic success of entrepreneurs and small business owners here in Massachusetts. I was first hired on as Coalition Liaison and helping with one of the largest COVID-19 small business grant programs that helped business owners like yourself with language and technical assistance to get across the finish line. Before MGCC, I have 12 years experience in craft coffee, so I'm a huge coffee guru. I helped launch a new coffee bar inside a boutique fitness studio as part of their lifestyle brand in 2019. I have a entrepreneurship and small business management degree from the University of Phoenix, and I have an extensive background in working and running with charitable organizations. I'm going to introduce Jonathan Berk. And Jonathan, would you share a little bit about that?
Thank you, Theresa, and hi everyone. To folks I don't know, it's great to meet you. Jonathan Berk, Vice President at Patronicity. Been working with this team for about 6 years now, supporting community-led initiatives across the US and now small business matching grant programs across a number of states. So excited to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. HamdAllah, would you like to introduce yourself? You're on mute.
Hi, my name is HamdAllah Olona, and I'm the founder of Investador LLC, maker of GoodieKrunch coconut snack. GoodieKrunch coconut snack is a delicious, naturally gluten-free, vegan, and 100% organic snack. It's my grandmother's recipe from West Africa. It's affordable and it's for individuals who are health conscious and have a busy lifestyle. It's made in Haverhill, Massachusetts. And I came about the idea of GoodieKrunch out of empathy for individuals who are stuck with boring, unpalatable snacks, who try to copy the gluten equivalent, and then they end up tasting like chalk. So I went down memory lane to my grandmother's recipe, and in order to provide a better alternative for these individuals, I decided to share GoodieKrunch with the world. And that's a short story about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have joining with us on the phone, Meredith Wecker from the Benson place. Meredith.
Hi, I run a farm called the Benson Place with my husband in Heath, Massachusetts. It's, well, it was a 35-acre low bush blueberry farm, and now we're a 55-acre due to the MGCC grant, and we sell our blueberries primarily Franklin and Hampshire counties, as well as southern Vermont. So we're doing mostly direct to consumer sales. We do have a couple of value-added products, and we also sell our frozen berries in smaller amounts in local co-ops, and then have some other farm projects as well, chickens and goats and other things, but primarily blueberries.
Thank you, Meredith. I happen to love blueberries myself. So I'm going to share a overview of quick program overview of Biz-M-Power. Becky, thank you. Can everyone see or? Try again. Can everyone see Becky's screen? No.
Just as double click to enter full screen mode.
Was it?
It says double click to enter full screen mode. I think it's just needs to change the setting in there.
Full screen mode?
It says my screen sharing is paused and it won't let me resume it.
Oh, that's.
You want to go through really quick without?
No. I must be some sort of feature. Hold on. Let's see. There was. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the Biz-M-Power crowdfunding matching grant program offers small businesses here in Mass financial assistance with their acquisition, expansion, improvement, or lease of facility, purchase or lease of equipment, or with meeting other capital needs for a business. Eligible applicants can be empowered to advance their business with innovative approach to obtaining capital. Through crowdfunding campaigns, these businesses connect with their local residents, stakeholders to advance projects and support economic success for transformation in their businesses in the community. So again, this is designed to help build equity in your business. Preference will be given to low to moderate income business owners, owned by women, minorities, immigrants, non-native English speakers, U.S. military veterans, disabled individuals, members of the LGBTQ community, and businesses operating in cities. We have roughly a little bit under 6 million matching grant dollars still available. Since Biz-M-Power launch, we have helped over 90 businesses raise over $1 million in contributions to receive over 850,000 in MGCC matching funds. I'll play a video on a little bit of crowdfunding. We'll hear a little bit also from Jonathan.
Sorry, whoever's calling in from that.
Crowdfunding is the process of getting a large group of people, the crowd, to financially support the funding of a project within a certain constrained time frame. Through the Biz-M-Power program, your successful crowdfunding campaign will unlock your matching grant from the MGCC if you reach your preset campaign goal. Businesses pre-approved by MGCC will develop their crowdfunding page on the Patronicity platform, where they will tell the personal story of their business and the plans for what they'll do with their new funding. They will also be assigned a crowdfunding coach to work one-on-one with them to help them build their campaign page, structure their recognition levels, and develop a campaign outreach strategy. Biz-Empowered is intended to help participating businesses tap into and strengthen the connection to their existing support base, while also connecting with new customers by offering creative recognition levels like products, gift cards, personalized gift baskets, access to special dinners or events, and more. When your crowd helps you reach your funding goal, they also help you unlock your MGCC matching grant, a powerful community effort.
Whoever's calling in from that 4278 number, could you just mute yourself, please? We're getting some feedback on your phone. Thank you. Perfect. There it is. Okay, great. Great. So thanks, everyone. So really quickly, just wanted to go through a little bit about what crowdfunding for this program looks like. It's a a new process thing for some folks. A lot of folks have never actually run a crowdfunding campaign before. I think a lot of the folks on this call who you're going to hear from have not. Some may have some experience before, but if you're new to it, don't worry. Most folks, I'd say over 90% in this program, have never participated in a crowdfunding campaign before. You'll be assigned to work with somebody from our team, either myself or one of my colleagues who have a lot of experience working with both community groups and businesses to help them really tell the story of their business, set up and structure the rewards and recognition levels, and then develop a solid outreach plan to get attention to your campaign as well throughout the duration of the campaign. Theresa.
Thank you, Jonathan. And that's a very good point, that to think about your business and your story. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about approved use of funds for this grant. So approved use of funds are capital expenses. Oops, sorry. Whoever, can you please put yourself on mute? Thank you. I can't see the chat right now. So capital expenses are approved use of funds. So examples are if you're acquiring or purchasing your facility, we have a couple of those. Expansion or improving existing facilities. So that's like new building signage or remodel or any additional square footage. So that's like build out. So leasing a facility. So if you had, I don't know, a farm stand, or you had a food product location and you wanted to go to a new location, we would just cover that last month in security deposit. And again, if you're working out of a commercial kitchen, that new lease deposit fee for your first brick and mortar location. Oops. Sorry. And then purchase or lease of equipment is very popular. So again, that commercial oven, refrigerator, HVAC system, or a POS system. And other capital needs of a business would be patents or license. Non-approved use of funds are day-to-day operational costs, so it can't be used towards inventory and supplies, utility bills, employee payroll, employee benefits, and current rent, current lease, current marketing costs, and no reimbursements. I'm going to share quickly about eligibility. So again, we went over the eligible capital need of expense. Your business has a customer-facing physical presence. So commercial kitchens, food trucks are okay. You employ 1 to 20 full-time employees. Your revenue does not exceed 2.5 million, and you have been in leased operations for 3 months. So that's 3 months of sales. The great news is that your business can seek up to 20K in matching grant dollars. So with combined community funds, that would be projects that are 40K. So all funds raised over 5,000, with the exception of all or nothing campaigns, purchase of property, or commercial vehicles, MGCC will match. I'm going to share really quickly about the process. So step 1 is to complete your application on the MGCC website through submittables with all that required documentation that is listed on the website. And it will go through a review process. So that is a monthly review process, and it is open until June 30th, 2023. Step 2 is if you get conditionally approved, you're able to start that crowdfunding campaign, and you'll be paired with your personal one-on-one patronicity coach. And then you would start making a plan, and you'll start crowdfunding. So they'll help develop that crowdfunding page for you, the rewards and strategy. Jonathan will share a little bit more. I know he'll both business owners experience anywhere from 30 to 60 days to run that campaign, and you must launch within 30 days of MGCC approval. And step 4 is the fun part. If your campaign reaches its goal or it raises over 5,000 then you'll receive a matching grant with all funds raised during your campaign. If you need small business technical assistance, there is a Google form that you can fill out that's available on the website. You'll also find it in the eligibility, embedded in the eligibility and submittables and in the actual application itself. Becky will drop a flyer in the chat with all this information. That is my contact info. She will also put the contact info in the chat as well. So we are going to enter the Q&A portion of this webinar. You can feel free to unmute yourselves after we'll open it up. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat as we go.
So so first of all, Meredith and HamdAllah, thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited to have you guys both here after very successful campaigns. So really quick, just the first question for folks on this webinar. How much did you raise, and then what did you use those funds for each of your programs? So starting with HamdAllah first.
I raised $20,026.
And then what did you use those funds towards for your business?
We got a packaging machine and a delivery van.
Great. And then Meredith too?
Yeah, I think we raised about 46,000, and we used, well, the first 20,000 was going towards the capital expenses, and that was matched by the MGCC grant. So that went for renting an industrial chipper. We were clearing, opening up what was historically a low bush blueberry field and regenerating it, bringing it back into production. So we needed to rent that chipper to chip all the small brush and trees that were there. And then we also used the purchase of a new sorting machine so that we could sort all the blueberries within our ripening window. And the money beyond the first 20,000 we were able to use for other types of expenses like the labor specifically.
Yeah, it's an important point, Meredith, too, for folks on the call. I think the question just came in on the chat. If you raise over 20,000, the match is stopped at 20. So that's as much as you'd get if you requested the full 20. But those funds that you raise through this program beyond the 20,000 are yours to use as you'd like towards your business, towards other needs that you see in your business. So you still get to keep the funds. It's just that the match stops at 20,000. Another question, and I think I actually worked with both of you on this one, so ironic that your coach is also here as well. We typically don't have that in these webinars. But you both had very creative rewards structured for your supporters. And I wonder if you could both talk a little bit about sort of how you thought about that, how you approached it, and then what you did for those rewards. So Meredith, we'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, I wanted to have something that related to the campaign, but I didn't want to kind of in effect pre-sell blueberries because our crop fluctuates year to year. So I wanted to think of something else, and the land here has a lot of history to it. It's, you know, been in low bush blueberries for hundreds of years, and there's also been many painters who have come through over the years and painted the beautiful landscape. There's views of Mount Greylock and, you know, just sort of nearly panoramic views of Western Mass. And so I thought, oh, what if we got local artists involved in the campaign? And we actually had 4 different local artists volunteer to make artwork of the hill. And then we were able to offer that for, you know, that was those were the main gifts that we were able to give people. So people who donated a smaller amount received postcards, note cards of the different artworks, and people who donated at medium levels were able to get prints, and then the higher level donors went into a raffle for the original pieces. And then that was supplemented by some of our own farm products, blueberry syrup and goat cheese as well. And then we also just had some other members of our community donate things. Like one person donated, who's a naturalist, to do a walk of the land that was also really popular. So we tried to think of things that were just related to the project, but would, bring people in even more to understanding like why exactly they were donating.
It's great. And then HamdAllah, do you want to speak about your rewards and how you sort of approach that structuring?
Yes, so because my product is my grandmother's recipe from West Africa, I chose to offer donor gifts, which is West African themed, according to the level of donation. I came up with creative names for the tiers of donation. So I just dropped a link in the chat. If you click on that link, anyone can click on it. You will see what my donation exact. Oh, thank you.
Yes. We also have it on share screen right now. So she started out with an angel level influencer,
magician, an icon, and executive sponsor, and elite philanthropist. So philanthropist. So I kind of created the names to highlight the level of donation, if you're the highest donation and so on. And I increased the gifts gradually as the donation increased. And I made my website very colorful, attractive, looking friendly. Thanks to Jonathan. Jonathan was a director at that time. By the way, congratulations. He's now a vice president.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, he basically held my hand throughout. So he made it look so easy, helped me select beautiful pictures, and I'm so happy to work with him, to have worked with him. He made it really easy.
Thanks, HamdAllah. I really appreciate that. You're a pleasure to work with too, and Meredith as well. And I think one of the big things, a lot of our coaches, we put a lot of time into these campaigns, and we'll put as much time as our business owners are willing to put in themselves. And I think one of the big things is really being communicative. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of work involved in these programs, but we are here to help, and we're here to put a lot of time into this, and we have some expertise in this as well. So as HamdAllah mentioned, take advantage of the opportunity to have a coach support you here. We have some businesses that go through the program and just never communicate, never respond to us, and you see the results and the success rates for those businesses versus the ones that really want to work with us. So definitely be sure to kind of take advantage of that opportunity for myself, or also for any of my colleagues as well. Theresa, do you have the next question here?
Yes. So it goes to HamdAllah or Meredith. Feel free to answer. Did you learn something about your fan or customer base from the campaign?
Yeah, I can go. The result of the campaign is that we were able to get into Stop and Shop, which is a major grocery chain in New England. So this helped us to achieve our goal, because the goal was to bring GoodieKrunch closer to our customers. And yes, we got into Stop and Shop. We had a beautiful package, beautiful design. And if you just go to GoodieKrunch.com, you'll see the packaging. And that really helped us to achieve the goal.
Congratulations. I didn't realize that. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
congrats.
Yeah, I was really blown away throughout the campaign by our fans' support, customer. You know, it really started with our customers and then expanded to our customers' relatives and friends, and but just, you know, sometimes I would even just be moved to tears, like, wow, we're realizing how the customers' goals were really the same as our goals. And, you know, year after year, people come and buy blueberries, but it was doing this campaign that made me realize, wow, they're so invested in the same thing we are, you know, wildlife conservation, quality food production, the history of the land. And people just really showed up, and I think it brought together our farm community in a way that wouldn't have been possible without the campaign.
That's great. And just to touch on a really good point there, Meredith, you made a great comment about how folks were sharing with their own networks. I think that's one of the big things to keep in mind here too, is that asking folks to give their financial capital is obviously the end goal of these campaigns, but also their social capital. And I think sharing with their friends, their neighbors, their families, the opportunity to support your business, and asking people to do, if they can support, great. If they can't, are they willing and able to sort of share with their friends and neighbors that might be able to support the business and the local small business communities in their areas. If anybody has specific questions, obviously we have a lot of program related questions, but if anybody has specific questions for Meredith and HamdAllah about their experiences with the program, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or you can drop it in the chat as well while we have them here.
Hi there, this is Becca with Becca's Bang and Butter. We are an artisan almond butter company out of the North Shore of Massachusetts. I have been back and forth with MGCC doing the digital. I'm a recent applicant of the digital grant program as well. And this one was recommended to me. I'm a small business owner, like many of you on the call. And so time is very, 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 very valuable. And so I'm wondering for the recipients that are on the call, obviously as small business owners, we don't want to get into something where the return on investment is not good, you know? And so in all transparency, what is the time commitment like? What is the, what does it look like as far as setting up and actually running this funding campaign? I know the directors and they're talking about, yep, we're going to hold your hand alongside you. I think that's wonderful. And that's something that a lot of times we're left to do on our own. But what does that time commitment look like? Are you stopping for a season and raising this money, or are you doing it in tandem with all your other projects?
So I can, oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay.
So basically you have within 60 days to do your campaign.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on you. If you have all your materials ready, you have all the pictures that you're going to use, you've seen the creative way we used to create the tiers of gift to people. Just use that example. Just basically go look at our website, copy what we have done, but name it your own name. It's very simple. Just go copy us, name it your own name, and you're like halfway through. And the rest, Jonathan will put you through. So you just need your own photos, beautiful photos of your product, your names that you're going to use to copy, how much you want to give to somebody who gives you $10 donation, how much you want to give to somebody who gave you 100. Honestly, I think it took me within 3 weeks, I was able to do all my, put all my things together with Jonathan's help. So it wasn't so long. Maybe not even 3 weeks, you know, I was able to put my, yeah.
Great.
I
Thank
think it was less. Obviously, you're not spending the whole 3 weeks doing that. You're sort of
no,
doing that
no, no.
alongside. So yeah. And then
And
Meredith,
we
did you have?
met, yeah.
Sorry.
And we met every now and then just to touch base. Okay, how far are you? And he was constantly in touch with me just to remind me, HamdAllah, you have a few days more to finish your stuff, your to your fundraiser, and you will make a list of the people, the important people in your life that you want to ask for money from. Make that list. If you're proactive, it won't take you long. If you already have in mind your biggest donors, like if your dad's going to give you some money, your uncle, and so on, then you're good to go. It doesn't take long.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Meredith, did you want to jump in on that one too?
Yeah, so we ran our campaign from mid-September through mid-October. We have our busy blueberry season in, kind of mid-July through early August. And I believe we applied for the MGCC grant right before or during our blueberry season. And we received approval, I think, towards the end of the blueberry season. And that process, so the application process, we worked with a woman named Stevie from our local food organization, CISA, in Western Mass. And she was incredibly helpful, actually, throughout the entire campaign as well. And so the application process actually felt pretty smooth. I can't think about the number of hours right now, but I think that was, I'm guessing maybe somewhere around 5 hours it took us. And then we did work really hard on our video. We had a friend help us, but that was a significant investment. The time getting ready for the campaign, we were really organizing our gifts, and it was something we would do kind of at the end of our workday. So we're also working, 12-hour days is our norm. During the campaign and leading up to the campaign, we were just working late into the evenings every night to get things done. But it wasn't like we dropped everything. We could kind of fit it in around the edges. But we did put in a lot of effort. During the campaign, at the end of the day, I would sit down and just email back personally each person who had donated. And if it was someone that I knew even a little bit about, I would, personalize the email and ask them to share the information about our campaign with others. And that was taking a significant amount of time, especially earlier on in the campaign when there were more donations coming in. Those three things are really kind of the bulk of it. The initial application, which wasn't too much, but then the time leading up, really was a significant amount of work outside of our daily operation. But now that I'm on the other side of it, it was so worth it. And I think putting in the time during the campaign, I think was really key. I also sent out emails every week for the first 3 weeks, and then I think the last week. We did a 30-day campaign, and I put a lot of effort and time into constructing emails that were different from each other and spoke to different reasons why people might donate, and so that it wouldn't feel like people were just kind of getting bombarded with the same thing over and over. And so sometimes I was doing those late at night or on the weekends. But again, I think all of that effort really helped to make our campaign a lot more successful than it would have been. And I kept telling myself, like you know, if we're successful, this is like, you know, the amount of time it would make to pay back a loan of $20,000, you know, it's actually not that much work when you consider it that way. So, yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Meredith. Great points. And two things I want to just clarify and touch upon there too. The video which you did was awesome, but it's certainly not a requirement. Most of our campaigns, I don't think HamdAllah, you didn't have a video. So I think most of the campaigns.
I did actually.
Okay, I forgot about that, sorry. But most of the campaigns don't have videos, and it's definitely not necessary. It's helpful. But if you don't think you have the time to do it, it's definitely not necessary to go out and do. And then second was the duration of the campaign. You have between 30 and 60 days just based on program requirements. We always recommend closer to 30 and really kind of try to blitz things during those 30 days and avoid inevitable procrastination from folks. 60 days, you just tend to spend more time trying to keep the campaign in the front of people's minds and keep it active than you're wasting time in that 60-day campaign. So we always try to advise folks to do closer to 30. And we're happy to discuss that with you and strategize for that with you once you get to that point. Any other questions from anybody in the audience for Meredith or HamdAllah? That was a great question. Theresa, do you want to take a couple of the questions in the chat that came in? I think they're really quick to answer.
Can you read them to me since
Let me just start from the bottom. So one from Siva, we are 3 agriculture businesses looking to work together on a new venture. Would we be eligible in terms of the 3 months of operation, the primary source of income requirement?
Okay. Primary source of income requirement. So it'll eventually be your primary source of income, correct?
Hi, this is Seva, and I don't know that it'll be the primary. It's sort of a piece of the puzzle. It's 3 businesses collaborating on some equipment that we all need to share in order to help our businesses.
I think one business would have to apply, not all 3, one for the application. Yeah, so I think you would have to decide which business owner would want to purchase the equipment that you will share. And you just need to show 3 months of operational proof of sales. So I hope that answers your question.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, we're going to form an entity to actually, ideally, to co-own the equipment because it's too expensive for any one of us to own.
So it's going to be under a new, so not under or an already existing.
Correct.
Businesses. Well, then I don't. It would have to have. You would then have to. It's a little chicken or the egg at that point because you would need the equipment first to be able to. I'm assuming to produce. Yeah, a little bit trickier that route, but if one of the businesses, that is a special case. You can feel free to email the Biz-M-Power at MassGCC.com of that special case. You can email it directly to me. I can present it to the senior grants team. Yeah, but if it's under one of your, or if you choose which business, then it's a little bit.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask you for that email again in the chat?
Yes, Becky just dropped it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
It's in there now.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Theresa, do you want to go through a couple of last questions here? So we have 2 more minutes.
So Jonathan, can you read, hold on. Because I don't have a monitor, an extra monitor, would it be okay if you read just a quick question?
Yeah, I think this one should be quick. I'm a sole proprietor, no 1099 employees of my business. Do I still qualify?
Sole proprietor businesses, yes, qualify.
And then I think there's one more. If we have more than 20 employees, are we not eligible?
So it's full-time, I have a couple of questions. So are they all full-time employees? Are any of them seasonal? I don't know who had that question. If you can unmute yourself.
I don't think they're still here. Actually, they left. This is Jess. I'm not sure who Jess is, but
Can you make note of Jess? Yeah, I can email her later.
we have Meredith and HamdAllah still here. I think let's maybe ask one or two last questions of them before we close today. And I think maybe a last closing question, Theresa, what do you think is your advice for anyone on this call who is on the fence or considering taking part in this program or applying for this program? What's your one, forget that Theresa and I are here, what's their one piece of advice for someone if they're considering applying for this program?
Go for it. Do not hesitate, because it made a huge difference in my business, and it will help you as well. You will get a lot of help from your coach.
Meredith?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is the outline that Patronicity gives for developing your web page was just extremely helpful, and so I just recommend following that. Yeah, I would also just agree with HamdAllah that I just think it's a wonderful program, and I felt the support all around. Jonathan, you were available at any time of day, pretty much, when I had questions, and you always got right back to me. And I think it's just exciting to, for the public, business owners, to come together and, just create, the economy we want to be living in. So it's a wonderful program to support that.
Great. Well, thank you both so much. Theresa, anything else you want to add here, or is that?
Well, thank you so much. I had a thought, but I think I lost the thought. But yeah, thank you, HamdAllah and Meredith. Congratulations again on your campaign and your willingness to share your experience. To the business owners on the call, I look forward to your application. Again, any questions, don't hesitate to email. And we're here to support. And that what I've noticed is the community also is here to support, which is pretty amazing with these campaigns. So thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to stop recording, and thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And thank you, Meredith and HamdAllah. It's a pleasure. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks. Bye-bye.